What's up, all my Versus fans? Today we will be reviewing Chapter 7 of this manga. We get to see the 11th Demon King Jachi again, as well as the 19th Demon King Naruto. We finally learn the truth about Ario and why he has no injuries from this battle with the 19th Demon King Naruto. I am so pumped to read this chapter for you guys, so without further ado, let's get into it. Back at the fortress of the 11th Demon King, Kiva, the demon captain, is reporting to his lord about the events that have transpired during his mission. Kiva describes the new threat that is the robots and the tower of dead bodies being displayed throughout the lands. King Jachi takes in all he has been told by his demon captain. In conclusion of his report, Kiva asks can he have more of King Jachi's forces. Jachi grants his request and orders him to continue his mission immediately. King Jachi sits on his throne and states he will go outside to look for himself at these new conditions of chaos. Jachi's advisor shows concern for the Demon King as he reminds him that Kiva just stated it is dangerous outside. Jachi sends a beam to his feet. Demon King Jachi states, "It seems like you and I have different definitions of dangerous." He then stares with mean intent and further states, "The weather outside is a little different, that's all," and tells them to cease their complaining. His servants are frozen with fear at his anger. Jachi then flies out of his fortress. Demon King Jachi then hovers in the sky and gazes upon the new land his captain informed him about. As he observes, Jachi begins to receive a signal. Suddenly, Jachi begins to hear a voice attempting to communicate with him. This voice belongs to the 19th Demon King, Naruto. So I really enjoyed looking at this panel, seeing the powerful Demon King Jachi fly and hover over the land, and this powerful being is trying to assess how he's going to handle these new obstacles was really cool to see. And then it was also really great how Kiyotaro meshed all of these different worlds together. I thought the size and the scale was something to admire. Demon King Naruto is sitting inside his fortress covered in jewels while playing chess with living human beings. Naruto states that the world has gotten more interesting. Naruto even has noticed that the quickly depleting humans have multiplied 7 times over. But instead of being concerned or frustrated, Demon King Naruto states that now that there's more fun to be had, it makes his heart dance. Naruto goes on to state to Demon King Jachi that others of the 47 Demon Kings have already begun to meet these new lands and enemies. Naruto asks Jachi if he would like to join forces and deploy together. Demon King Jachi asks King Naruto, what does the great Demon King have to say about these actions and plans by his underlings? Naruto responds and states that he hasn't heard anything from the great Demon King. Naruto continues to state that the great Demon King surely won't concern himself with such minor things. Then we finally get a sneak peek at the great Demon King Byaku. So let's take this in for a moment. The great Demon King Byaku is sitting on his throne and looks so cool. We don't get to see him in detail, but still his throne looks very complicated and intricate. Then I notice he also has a third eye in the middle of his skull, similar to the 11th Demon King Jachi. That would be interesting to think. What if Jachi were a direct descendant of the Great Demon King and they share that feature? I also noticed the Great Demon King has armor and his legs look very strong and very powerful. I cannot wait to see what the Great Demon King is capable of. Naruto places a chess piece, or human, in front of another. It's a father and son. The son starts to cry, and the father shakes in fear as they both know the son is required to strike his father down. Naruto continues to speak with Demon King Jachi and states they should move while the great Demon King is allowing it. Naruto states he is anxious to finally come across the human heroes he's heard so much about. King Jachi replies by saying, "What?" Demon King Jachi asks Naruto, "Did a human hero never come to your location?" It seems all the Demon Kings were informed to expect a human hero to arrive to their locations. However, Naruto, the 19th Demon King, states he was never approached by a so-called human hero. This means that the 19th hero, Ario, never fought the Demon King he claimed to. Zabi states that they have assembled the individuals who have been selected to negotiate with the Giants, with Ario as the leader. These individuals have been picked based off of their close resemblance to what has been described as new humanity. Jubilo from the Cosmic Devil world, Shigeru from the Misfortune world, Riem from the Magic Forces world, Kubo and Shox from the Machine Rule world. Bragnite has also volunteered to guide the mission as well. He states although he doesn't fit the description of new humanity, he believes if the Giants see him, meaning something familiar, they may let their guard down. Zabi gives them direction on where to intercept the Giants. Zabi states until their departure, he encourages them to make preparations and ready themselves in the meantime. Ario stands by himself along the castle wall. Ario's support fairy secretly whispers something into his ear, almost to remind him of something. Someone then walks behind them as they speak. It's Kayla looking to have a word with Ario. Ario then asks Kayla, did she come to see him off and give him a goodbye kiss before he leaves? Kayla states in a serious demeanor that she needs to know something before such a dangerous mission. Then Kayla asks Ario, as straightforward as she can, Ario, you didn't actually fight a Demon King, did you? Ario is frozen with shock. Kayla goes on to say that you can tell when someone is a deserter by their behavior and words. Kayla says, I've seen plenty of soldiers just like you. Ario looks at the floor, then he covers his face with his hair in shame. Then he admits, my courage wasn't enough. Ario then explains him and his team came across a settlement just before the 19th Demon King's castle. At this settlement is where they were fated to challenge the Demon King Naruto, as Naruto and his small force were sacking this village. Ario witnessed this monstrous Demon King capturing humans and torturing them. Naruto was ripping out their insides and twisting their limbs while they were still alive with his psychic powers or telekinesis. The moment Ario laid eyes upon this Demon King in his horror, Ario's instinct screamed to him that he would stand no chance. Kayla looks at Ario as he explains his shame. Ario states that the next thing he knew, he was running away from the Demon King. His comrades weren't so lucky, along with the captured humans. The hero ran away from the suffering of innocent people. He abandoned them all. Ario judges himself and says it's laughable how someone who calls himself a hero would flee like a coward just from seeing the Demon King from a distance. He states that just from that, his spirit was completely broken. Ario can't believe that despite all of his intense training and having the responsibility to be man's last hope, was thrown away by the fear he felt and the fact that he wanted to stay alive. Ario knows he didn't carry himself anything like a hero that day. Kayla continues to listen. Ario then states, after that, he decided it was best to stay away and hide his identity. He didn't want to be seen in that miserable state by anyone. After some time had passed, the cataclysmic events began to occur. Creatures and scenery Ario had never seen before had appeared in front of him. Ario began to panic and ultimately decided it was best to face this new adversity with his comrades. He decided to return. Ario concluded he would lie about his non-existent battle with the Demon King Naruto and continue to play the part of a hero. Kayla questions Ario. The reason you didn't mention the Giants right away is because you wanted to forget the reality of the danger all of us humans find ourselves in? Ario looks down in guilt. Ario then explains when he returned, he saw his longtime friend and fellow hero, Hollow. Ario states he found comfort in the idea that even someone as strong as Hollow failed to defeat a Demon King. Ario had hoped that Hollow had also ran away from the battle and share in his shame of abandonment. But Ario recounts the recent heroic words of Hollow. We're still alive and we should find out what we can do now. And then Ario realized, Hollow isn't broken like he is. Hollow still has hope and the will to carry on and combat the enemies, specifically the demons. In fact, Hollow appeared even stronger and more determined than before. Ario acknowledges that Hollow is different than him and was a true hero the whole time. Kayla begins to speak. Kayla asks Ario, if this is the way he truly feels, then why did he volunteer to lead the mission to the Giants? Ario states, it's not all that complicated. Once he heard Hollow volunteered to lead the mission, without thinking about it, he quickly inserted himself as the lead instead to save his best friend. Hollow is a good person and deserves to live more than someone like him, Ario says. Ario didn't truly want to lead the mission, but once he spoke up, others capitalized on his suggestion and it was too late. Ario thinks of himself as lame. Kayla states, that's not true. Kayla states she just wanted to confirm the true character of Ario and his intentions. She says the fact that he's willing to attempt to be heroic even after putting on a facade from a broken spirit is nothing to look down at. Kayla states that now she knows that Ario is currently someone with courage. Ario turns to look at Kayla after hearing her words of faith and encouragement. Ario's eyes begin to shine and glass over. Then Kayla brings out a similar flower to the one Ario gave her earlier. She states it's a return gift for the one he gave her this morning. She apologizes if it doesn't have the same meaning by returning the gesture, but Ario quickly assures her that it is fine and he will accept her gift gratefully. Kayla explains that she thought about the flower a great deal and could not completely understand the meaning behind such a gift, but somehow she knew his hopes weren't for her to eat it. She tells Ario to teach her the true meaning of the gesture when he returns from the mission alive. Kayla begins to walk away since she got what she came for. Ario yells for her to wait a moment. Ario wipes his eyes and then says thank you to Kayla. No, Miss Kayla. Ario then bears the flower across his chest and tells Kayla that he swears on her flower that he will use all of his strength this time to complete his mission. He then asks Kayla to truly believe in him, as well as wait for him. So I'm getting the feeling, guys, from these scenes that just took place between Ario and Kayla, well, the number one thing is that Kayla is very intelligent. Nothing goes over her head. But also, like a woman should be, she's very nurturing. And as a captain, someone who is supposed to lead a group of people, she also has the ability to inspire. She does that very well. So she's got these great traits and she just encouraged Ario. She made sure, for one, though, that he has the will to do the right thing and be a hero. But once she learned that, she encouraged him to not look so badly upon himself and that he has an opportunity for redemption, basically. And that's what a strong, beautiful woman does, right? She supports a man and is like his backbone, can be, so to speak. So that was a really beautiful scene. I mean, she made him cry after telling him, like, you trying to save your friend's life is nothing to laugh at. It's actually something a person with courage would do. I thought it was just a beautiful scene and I really just wanted to acknowledge it. Now, again, this whole flower thing and Ario asking her to wait on him when he gets back and stuff. I don't know if Kayla is actually interested in him or if she's just trying to encourage him. I don't know if they're trying to set up a love connection between these two. I don't know, but I am interested, I guess, to know where they're going with that. All right, let's get into it. We then see the magic teleportation circle become activated. Riem, a wizard chosen for the mission, has successfully activated the circle, and Ario thanks her. The group chosen for this dangerous mission reluctantly looks back at everyone and states, "Then we'll be going." Zabi reminds Ario that the Fort for Humanity is counting on his success. Ario tells Zabi not to pressure him too much, but as a hero, he's used to hearing such words. Suddenly, Haji from the neo-cruelty world approaches Ario and reminds him of how dangerous the new humans are, and she begs him to be careful. She then gives him a hug and states she will pray for his safe travels. Ario thanks Haji, but thinks to himself that he can feel her trembling as she hugs him. He assumes it's her fear from the memories of her run-ins with the new humanity. Ario then tells everyone to listen up. Ario then bravely and sternly confirms their mission objective so that everyone is completely aware of what to do and how to do it. Ario also reminds them that this is a potential suicide mission, as Bragnite has warned them that the giants could not care to hear what they have to say and will immediately and simply massacre every single one of them. So everyone should be and is prepared for death. But Ario encourages everyone to strike fear from their hearts and walk towards danger with their heads held high, because in this moment, they all look very cool. Ario manages to put a smile on some of their faces. Ario then sheaths his sword. The Giants' mission squad heads out with determination and hope. Hollow watches them all disappear in the magic circle. Hollow wishes his friend Ario good luck. Now in the outside lands, we hear a large crack and thump. A giant holds the ragdolled body of an anti-machine hero in his hand. We see our hero stand before a large group of giants that have apparently killed one of them without warning. One giant states, "Listening to the humans babble is so annoying." Another giant states to wait before killing another, as he wants to hear what they have to say. The other giant states, if they have something to say, they better make it simple, or we'll crush the rest of them. Ario thinks to himself as he looks upon these massive and intimidating monsters, seeing them the same as the way he looked upon the Demon King Naruto. The fear and panic are overcoming his body, but Ario urges himself to calm down. Ario then thinks of Hollow and Kayla and how they will watch him. Watch him be a hero this time, and he won't run away.